What's going on, Rockstars? Welcome to the channel. And I wanted to cover this Canada Post strike for you guys because it is super important. I know I have a lot of Canadian people who watch this channel. I also know that I have a lot of you here that ship packages in and out of Canada, either through eBay's international program or maybe even directly yourself. And I know some of you have friends and family who live north of the border. So here is the update on this. If you don't know, on November 17th, Canada Post, which is actually a corporation, but it's owned by the federal government of Canada. It has been for many years. They walked off the job. Some, I think 30% or 40% of all the workers struck, and now it's pretty much all of them. So they are wanting a 22% pay increase. Does this sound familiar to anyone? Like, we just went through this with some other strikes going on with the shipping ports and some other stuff. So they want a 22% increase payable over 4 years. So they want to go up basically about 5.5% per year. It doesn't sound terrible, but 22% in just 4 short years is probably a lot of money. They also want better benefits and coverage. And finally, they're at a disagreement on how to handle packages being shipped on the weekends. Obviously, some of these workers want to do it and make more money. Some of them don't want to do it. They don't want to be forced to do it. And the ones that are willing to do it definitely want to pay increase for doing weekend delivery. And those that are kind of against it, but maybe willing to do it for the right amount of money, are negotiating what that right amount of money might look like versus paying temporary people to come in. And of course, on the union side, on the post side, they're trying to figure out how they can afford to pay for all this. Will the increase in revenues on the weekend take care of all of this? So that is pretty much where the strike hinges right now. And it's not improving any. So they've been on strike now for 10, 13, 14, 15, 16 days, it looks like, 17 days, going on 17 days, and no budging. So the Crown, who is the owners of the Postal Service up there, they came back with an 11-cent pay raise, half. And I don't know what they came back with on the benefits. I didn't see that. But they're nowhere close. On the 27th, which was just on, what day was that? Was that Wednesday? So not even a week ago, 5 days ago, they walked out of meetings. The association that represents the workers walked out because they said they were nowhere close. They weren't getting any closer, and they weren't going to deal with it. So that's where they are. They have had 2 strikes over the years, back in 97 and 2018. The 97 one only lasted 13 days. In 2018, Justin Trudeau, who is the prime minister up there, he had to force them back to work with a government mandate, and it was right before the holiday season. I was reading, though, however, that now the USPS has effectively suspended. This was updated Friday and over the weekend. So today's Monday, the 2nd of December. I'm recording this. The USPS will temporarily suspend international mail acceptance to Canada and confirm that customers should not mail any items to Canada until notice was given that the situation was back to normal. So if you ship internationally, do not ship anything to Canada. You can go exclude it and then change it back after the fact. I don't know if you have orders that were outstanding, what the story is going to be on those, or if you just ship some. We'd have to wait and see on that. Postal Service confirmed the service disruption impacts Priority Mail Express International, which is PMEI, the Priority Mail International, regular Priority Mail International, First Class Mail International, which is FCMI, and First Class Package International services. Also, the International Priority Airmail, International Service Airlift, and Commercial E-Packet and in-bag items. That's like the Surface Airlift stuff. Well, the Commercial E-Packet is kind of like those Chinese E-Packets that come in. I guess the Chinese aren't shipping to Canada for super cheap right now. And then the other one, I believe, the Surface Airlift, the International Service Airlift, which is ISAL, if I'm not mistaken. Is that bulk possibly? It's airlifting like... I think it's like, I don't think it has to be like pallets, but I think it's like a really fast service, like an airlift service across Canada there. So all of that impacted. This is, we're going on now 13, 14, 15 days, 2 weeks. So we're past the 97. It was a little over a month for the other one. We're not up to that yet, but if it goes on any longer, it could definitely impact Christmas, with Christmas only a couple weeks away. This is one of the biggest shopping weekends. So here is the story from the BBC. This could be the death knell for a lot of hard-hit small businesses. 2 weeks into the National Postal Service strike at Canada Post, many businesses say they've suffered steep financial losses as customers have to wait for their orders and inventory sits in warehouses across the country. Lauren James, who owns Otter Valley Railway, a model train company in London, Ontario, estimates he's already lost 120,000 Canadian dollars, which is about $85,500 American dollars. Since the strike began 2 weeks ago, man, he's doing 40,000 US dollars a week in sales. That's crazy. Good for him, though. It's going to wipe out a good number of businesses, he told the BBC. He estimated that 80% of his orders are received online, and up until 2 weeks ago, 99% of the orders were done with Canada Post. Sounds familiar to a lot of people here with the USPS. Negotiations have broken down and massive financial losses, especially over the issue of allowing temporary workers to help expand the company's delivery to 7 days a week, which we just talked about. Bruce Winder is a Canadian retail analyst, and he said, while the growth of online shopping has led to new courier companies entering the market, Canada Post is most often the most affordable. Same with USPS. While we have competitors like UPS and FedEx, USPS still tends to be the cheapest on a lot of them. Christmas can account for 30 to 40% of all the small business annual revenue, so they're crushing them if they're not getting orders. Canadians were already planning on spending less because of the rise in the cost of living. Sounds like America, right? Economy's not booming. You're not spending money on Christmas. It's a double whammy, and now you've got the Postal Service not helping you out. So as a small business, it's tough because people are already not spending a lot of money, so you're losing sales because of that. But also now you've got no way to deliver your packages up there. They're going to lose even more sales. It's terrible. I feel bad for small business owners. I'm a small business. I'm not a company doing tens of millions of dollars in sales, right? Like, it doesn't matter if you do 10,000 a year, 50, 150, 500,000, somebody small who's doing, a few six figures like myself. We're small businesses. We're not multi-million, $10 million, even a business that does $500,000, $700,000, $900,000, $1 million. That's not a big business. $1 million is not a huge business. It might be a company in a small office or a home-based business doing $1 million who has an employee, paying an employee 60, 80,000 bucks, spending a couple $100,000 on expenses and cost of goods. And before it's all said and done, the $1 million goes to 500,000, another 150,000 goes to the IRS. And it's just, a normal everyday American or human or Canadian who makes 200,000, 300,000, living a comfortable life, but you're certainly by no means a big business. So this hurts everyone. And especially if you're somebody, let's say you're even smaller business who makes 100,000 and you profit 60, and all of a sudden you lose 20 or 30%. Well, the difference in 60 and 40 grand could crush you, right? Something to think about when you're shopping small businesses. In an open letter, Canadian company Shopify, if you didn't know this, Shopify is Canadian. I sell a ton on Shopify. A lot of you probably know that, my wholesale and all that, which helps businesses set up online stores, urged the government to intervene to prevent a devastating blow to Canadian small businesses at the most critical time of the year. Good for Shopify for speaking up. The letter came after the federally appointed mediator suspended talks on Wednesday, which we just discussed. His assessment is that the parties remain too far apart on critical issues for mediation to be successful, said Labor Minister Stephen McKinnon on X, formerly Twitter. The union said it's bargaining for inflationary pay rises, better benefits, and for the company to agree to not hire outside contractors. Meanwhile, Canada Post says it needs to have more flexible work hours, hire temporary workers in order to move to 7-day delivery and be competitive. So that's pretty much where they are, at a stalemate right now. They posted a $749 million loss during 2023 fiscal year. That sounds just like the USPS here in America. Why is it that financial statuses for these postal services that are owned by the government are never good? Yet you don't see Amazon posting a loss, right? You don't see UPS or FedEx posting loss. It's profits. Why can't these companies that are owned by the government get it right? Oh, I think I just answered my own question. Anyways, that's the story from Canada Post. Do not ship packages to Canada. Wait for it to, it could be a week, could be a month. We'll have to wait and see if Justin Trudeau does anything up there to force them back to work, or how this shapes up. But I'll update you when I get an update, when the strike ends or when they're forced back to work, and when it's safe to ship internationally to Canada. If you do eBay's international program, do not, you can certainly go in and exclude Canada if you want to. I wouldn't worry about it. I ship internationally. I think eBay will handle it. I think if an order comes in from Canada and it gets to their international center, they may hold it until it's safe to ship for us. I'll try to get eBay to answer that question for us. Or they may just pay you and not worry about it, or they may send it back to you and you'll get a refund, at which point just sell it to someone else. Don't worry about it. You won't be out any money, and eBay will handle the rest. So as always, thank you for watching. Try to keep you guys updated on these news stories. So if you do like them, please hit the thumbs up. It helps me with the YouTube algorithm. If you could share this on social media and subscribe to the channel, come back, watch future videos. I'll update this story and all the rest as the information comes in. And don't forget, down in the description box is some amazing links to some amazing reseller tools, including my 2025 reseller and social media bundle, our listing service, my Reseller Genie accounting service, and List Perfectly's cross-listing program. So if you're interested in any of those, they're all linked below. They're amazing sponsors of the channel, and I love all of them. And thank you again for watching the channel, watching the video, and I'll see you next time.